Hello, and it's the Daily Purge. All right. For some reason, my microphone isn't working. Very sorry. So you have to deal with my built-in Mac microphone, which I do not like, but it echoes a little bit. So I hope you're finding it okay with you. All right. So let me do this right here. Add a banner, open the comments. Here we go. Open. We are open for business. So if you're watching this now, replay or otherwise, I would appreciate a share, a poke, they still do pokes on Facebook. I don't even know. Or a share or a tag of somebody, because what I'm about to show you, what I'm about to share with you, is something that will add value to basically anything that you ever want to do in business. If you want to sell something, if you want to help somebody, if you want to, provide a service, whatever it is, you're going to find out the 5 questions that you can use. Industry agnostic. I use it in M&A, use it in coaching, use it in business advisory. I use it in consulting. I use it in sales over years and years and years. You can adapt these 5 questions to any industry. It's crazy, and they are so powerful. The question is, how do you ask these questions? That's the whole key. A lot of times when you get people talking about, okay, so I'm going to ask some questions, and it really sounds like you're interrogating them. And that's not what I'm talking about. When you talk to somebody, the first time you talk to somebody, you go into a meeting, or even the second, third, and fourth times, the key is finding out what it is they need, right? Where are they? What's the problem that you can solve? Hopefully, right? Do they have a problem that they know of? Do they have a problem that you have to educate them on? How's that going to look? How can you educate somebody on a problem that you don't know they have? You think you're going to sell something like that? No, you're not. So you need to have a set of tools that you can pull out anytime you need to get into a conversation with somebody and find out what's going on. Now, the thing about this is that you got to do it because you care. You can't go into a meeting saying, I'm thinking about doing this. This is what I want. So before we get to the 5 questions, you know what I'm going to talk about: creating space, showing up wholly and fully for that person or the people in front of you, right? With no preconceived notions or no cookie cutter solutions. Hey, Blaine, what's up, brother? Long time, man. Good to see you. Been doing good too. Thank you. No cookie cutter solutions, no preconceived notions, and no perceived outcome. Of course, you want success, whatever that might look like. Success could be a sale. It could be a referral. It could be someone, coming back 5 months later after they talk to you. It could be anything. Hey, Joe, a little bit early. Yes, indeed. Right. And so these are all things you got to realize when you go into any meeting, when you're selling something, when you're pitching something, when you're assessing something, analyzing something, buying a business, selling a business. You want to ask these 5 questions, but you got to do it in conversation form, and you have to actually listen to what they say and ask questions according to those answers that they give you. And you have a conversation. So you don't ask these 5 questions like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just sit down and have a conversation. I'm going to go through the 5 questions, and I'm going to show you a conversation. So what's the status right now? What's your status, right? What are your current challenges? What have you done to try to overcome those challenges? Why do you think they didn't work? Because you wouldn't be sitting here otherwise. And where do you want to go from here? Those 5 questions. Now, if you go out and ask someone like that, hey, so what's your biggest challenge? And what's your status? And they'll be like, what? So if I go in to buy a business, right? Acquire a business. I don't want to say buy because I get it for no money now. So I'm acquiring a business. I will go in and say, hey, what's going on? How's business? That's the status, right? How's business? What's going on? Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, brother, you too. And so like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. But hey, like, what's going on right now as far as like challenges go and stuff? I mean, how's that going for you? Yeah. Well, we got this and that. Really? What's the issue? Like, what's going on? And they tell you a little bit of the issue, and then you say, wow, I remember when I was a kid, this and this and that happened. So you have a conversation, a real conversation, and you look at how can you relate to this person. And it shouldn't be something that you have to make up. It should be something that you can find in anything that anybody says that has a relationship to something that you did in your life at some time or another. And that's where you just have a conversation, right? So you know what's going on. You say, hey, what have you tried to like fix those? Just out of curiosity, what did you try to do to fix those problems? Yeah, well, we tried this and we tried that. We spent 100 grand here. We spent 10 grand there. We spent 5 grand there. Nothing worked. It was shit. It was horrible. Okay, why do you think they didn't work? I mean, why wouldn't they work? Well, because of this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, okay. And this is a long conversation, half an hour, something like that. And then in the end, you're like, well, where do you actually want to go from here? Like, what's your plan? So I just had a conversation with somebody, wasn't selling, didn't have a preconceived notion in the background. Hey, Olga, didn't worry about, well, I was going to get nothing or not, but now I know what their current status is, what their challenges are, what they did to try to overcome those challenges, why they think they didn't work, and where they want to go. Now, can I provide a solution? I hope so, because I just asked them all of those questions in detail over half an hour, and now I know everything that I need to know about them. If not, I will go back to another meeting and keep going. Right? And then I can show up and say, all right, we spoke, right? After we're done, we spoke. Okay, let's put it this way. If I, on the first meeting, am finished and I get everything satisfactory and I feel like I can solve the problem, I will go in and say, all right, look, I see where you are and I see where you want to go. This is where you are now. Here's the promised land. I'm the bridge. Right? I'm going to take you over this bridge and we're going to do it like this, X, Y, and Z. Right? Or they say, they have a more complex problem or a more complex issue. I will say, give me a week or give me a couple of days or give me 2 weeks. I'll get back to you. I come back to them with the exact solution that they need for their issues, challenges. And what does that mean? That means I go out. No, I don't have a contract. No, I'm not getting paid. But I go out and I find the things that they need to fix whatever it is that they need to fix, whether it's a service, a person, whatever. And here's the trick. So if you come to me and you're like, Steve, my problem is this, that, and the other, I say, well, look, maybe you need a landing page that actually converts. I'm like, yeah, it'd be great. Well, let me find somebody. Then I go out and ask my friends that are in the industry and say, find out who's the best. And then I'll refer them. Say, hey, there you go. Right? Talk to each other. So he gets a client, they get what they need. Right? And I get a commission. Simple as that. But that's it, because I didn't do anything. I just referred them to somebody. Right? So this is how you leverage your network, not only in referrals and passing someone on to someone who's more professional in an area that you're not, or someone that can offer a service that you can't. That's how you make money, right? And that's what it's all about. If you would know the different streams of income, and I hate that word, the different, let's say, sources of income, sources of revenue that are available out there, it blows your freaking mind. Blows your freaking mind. It doesn't have to be much. You got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sources of revenue, and they each bring $1,000 a month. You're 10K a month if you're 10, right? Maybe they bring 1,500 here, 200 there, 700 there. It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Especially if they're passive, like subscription sites or membership-based products or whatever it is that you have. There's a lot to be said for just investing some time and setting some little things up. So the 5 questions again: what's your current status? What are your challenges? What have you done to try to overcome? What are the challenges? What have you done to overcome those challenges? What do you think that didn't work? And where do you want to go from here? Use those 5 questions in conversation form. Create space first. No preconceived notions, cookie cutter solutions, or a perceived outcome. Focus on the intention of adding value by solving their problem. Sound good? It works, and it works every time. Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. Awesome. It works every time. I promise you, if you do it in conversation form, listen to what they say, answer their questions with whatever you can help them with, and then a question about that answer. Don't skip from question to question until it automatically and organically flows in that direction. Sometimes these conversations take up to 45 minutes to an hour. And sometimes you have, I think we had like 12 conversations with an Amazon company one time before we were trying to acquire. And they just wanted to know that we were legit and that we were cool and that we understood their vision. So we had to sit there and listen to all of their tech stuff that we had no, business knowing about, but we did. And they loved it. They're like, wow, you guys actually sat through all this stuff, So I hope that helped you guys out. And I'm going to keep swinging back and forth between the spiritual, the metaphysical, and the business, because business, everybody needs that. All right. Have a fantastic one. Remember, it's all about quality of life. See you tomorrow.